It was supposed to be just another day for Agent Marcus Johnson. A regular morning. A quick stop at his favorite coffee shop before heading to the office. He was dressed casually, jeans, a black hoodie, and sneakers. Nothing flashy. Nothing that screamed, "I'm with the FBI." And that, it turned out, was enough to put a target on his back. As he walked to his car, coffee in one hand, phone in the other, flashing lights suddenly flooded the parking lot. A police cruiser screeched to a stop beside him. The sharp sound of tires skidding on asphalt cut through the air. Before he could process what was happening, a voice, sharp and commanding, rang out. "Put your hands where I can see them." Marcus froze. His heart pounded in his chest. He looked up to see a white officer, hand on his holstered gun, eyes locked on him with suspicion. It was a look Marcus had seen before, cold, calculating, and filled with an assumption of guilt before a single word was spoken. "What's the problem, officer?" Marcus asked, keeping his voice calm, though his pulse raced. "I said, put your hands up." "Now," the cop barked, stepping closer, his hand gripping the butt of his weapon. His other hand hovered over his radio, ready to call for backup as if Marcus was some kind of dangerous threat. Marcus knew the drill. He had seen situations like this play out too many times. He had investigated cases like this himself, cases where innocent black men were harassed, accused, and sometimes worse. And now, it was happening to him. He felt anger bubbling beneath the surface, but he forced himself to remain still, to stay in control. One wrong move could turn this into something far worse. Slowly, carefully, he raised his hands. "Officer, my name is..." "Shut up. Turn around and face the car." The officer grabbed Marcus by the arm and shoved him against his vehicle. The force knocked the air out of his lungs for a second. His coffee slipped from his hand, splashing onto the pavement, the rich brown liquid spreading in chaotic patterns across the ground. "You fit the description of a suspect," the officer continued as he roughly patted Marcus down. "Dark hoodie, jeans. Looks like you've been lurking around here." Lurking? Marcus had been in the coffee shop for 10 minutes, same as every morning. He had smiled at the barista, exchanged pleasantries with the regulars, and even tipped generously. But now, none of that mattered. His presence had been twisted into suspicion simply because of the color of his skin and the clothes on his back. "Officer," he said, trying to stay composed despite the way his wrists ached under the officer's grip. "If you check my..." "I said shut up." The officer twisted Marcus's arm behind his back and slapped handcuffs onto his wrists. The metal was cold, biting against his skin. People in the parking lot had stopped to watch. Some whispered, their eyes filled with concern. Others pulled out their phones, recording the scene. It was a familiar sight. Another black man in cuffs, another moment of injustice playing out in broad daylight. Marcus felt a deep, familiar anger rise inside him, but he swallowed it down. Losing control wasn't an option. Not now. Not ever. Then, another voice cut through the tension. "What the hell is going on here?" Marcus turned his head slightly. It was his partner, Special Agent Daniel Carter, stepping out of an unmarked car, badge already in hand, his expression a mix of disbelief and fury. The officer faltered. This guy was acting suspicious. Suspicious? Carter snapped. "That man is FBI Special Agent Marcus Johnson. And you just put him in cuffs for no damn reason." Silence. The officer's face went pale. His grip on Marcus loosened immediately, and he fumbled with the cuffs, struggling to unlock them, his fingers suddenly clumsy. The arrogance in his posture melted into nervousness. "Yes, sir, I was just doing my job," the cop stammered, his eyes darting around, as if searching for an escape from the mess he had created. Marcus turned around, rubbing his wrists where the cuffs had been. The skin was red and raw. He met the officer's eyes, searching for even a hint of remorse. He found none. Just embarrassment. Fear. Not because he had done something wrong, but because he had done it to the wrong person. Marcus took a deep breath, forcing himself to stay steady. "You weren't doing your job," he said, voice low but firm. "You saw a black man and assumed he was a criminal. That's not policing. That's profiling. And you should be ashamed." The officer didn't respond. He just looked away, jaw clenched, the weight of his mistake pressing down on him in the most uncomfortable way possible. Agent Carter stepped in. "We'll be filing a report. Count on that." The officer nodded stiffly, saying nothing. Without another word, Marcus walked to his car, his hands still shaking slightly. He slid into the driver's seat, gripping the wheel, feeling the weight of what had just happened settle in his chest. This wasn't new. It wasn't shocking. But that didn't make it any less painful. He stared at his reflection in the rearview mirror, seeing exhaustion etched into his face. The reality of being black in America, no matter how much success you achieved, was this: at any moment, your dignity, your safety, your life could be put at risk just because someone saw your skin and made a judgment. His phone buzzed. It was a message from Carter. "You good?" Marcus took a deep breath before typing back. "Yeah. Just tired. Tired of this cycle. Tired of the fear. Tired of the fact that no matter how much he had worked, how much he had accomplished, there would always be people who saw him as a threat first and a person second." He started the engine and pulled out of the parking lot. As he drove to the FBI office, he couldn't shake the thought that there were so many others who wouldn't have had an agent come to their rescue. So many others who had been in his place but hadn't walked away. And that thought hurt more than the cuffs ever could. Hello, amazing viewer. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more awesome content, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. I'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Let me know what you think. And if you found this video helpful or entertaining, please share it with your friends and family. Your support means the world to me and helps this channel grow. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.